Hey, you know what, Jaco? You're always welcome to come over here and jam anytime. I think you do justice on that bass. Better than I thought. You know, for being kind of crazy. Playing a lot of basketball. Yeah. Anyways, back to this whole drama. Oh, we crashed that pretty hard, did we? I think that whole pivot video I did with that at the bottom of the screen. Oh well. Nobody looks at that anyways. Nobody really cares. You know what I mean? So, yeah, just, I'm thinking step away from that. Step away from that chart. Leave it alone. Leave it alone, you're not making any money. I mean, I know you try. You're all trying to make money here, but you're doing a piss poor job of it so far. Really not impressed with your returns. We looked at your balance sheet. And I think you're gonna have to sit in the corner for a little bit. You're gonna need some timeouts, buddy. Nice work. Well, who couldn't see this coming, right? I mean, this currency is just being obliterated. This is the Australian versus New Zealand. And the thing is that I wouldn't trade this currency pair myself because I'm a scalper, and the problem here is this broker's claiming that I got to pay 12 pips. And if it was a zero commission broker, which there's a lot of those, I would say even paying 12 pips for this trade is just it's too damn high, damn it. So, because they're asking me to pay the 50 handle here right now if I bought. Of course, the market's closed right now. It's a 15-minute chart. But I had the 15 up here because if you were going to scalp it, of course, you're going to make more pips. You know, it's moving more pips, so I guess you can justify that and just say, well, look how many pips it's moving, so the spread's not such a big deal. But I don't know. I don't really like to pull the trigger on a trade and be down like that hard, I guess. And if you're scalping, you're trading kind of large, right? So let's see how this thing's coming off these 50 pip handles here. Well, the broker's going to make his, he's going to make quite a bit on that, you know. You can, in a perfect world, there's some guy in Forex Street that said something like zero spread, and I thought, yeah, in your dreams, like, this is all bid pricing here. So in a perfect world, you know, you're selling, you know, this low, you know, if you're a stop entry guy, you put a sell stop here, or if you're a sell at the treetops, you sold up here, this bottom became a top. But you know, so it's definitely tradable, and you can make money in both directions. Just because it's going to hell in a handbasket doesn't mean you can't trade this 50 pip bounce off of this round handle, and then it double tags the round handle here. It comes to the half handle. These are 50 pips. This is 100 pips between the blacks, and then you know, at 100 pips a day, I'm plotting this. This is 1 day of data, and then I just go to the weekly because the weekly's interesting. You're coming into the pivot zone on the weeklies. It doesn't show up on the dailies. Here's a daily, here's weekly, but here you can see coming near the support level from, I don't know, 6 years ago. Of course, if you turn the candles on, you definitely probed a lot deeper than that. But this, like I said, this market, you know, at a 10 pip spread or 12 pip spread, or wherever they're torturing, my broker would torture me on this currency pair because these guys are neighbors. And so you're coming into this, all these support areas down here. I mean, you could endlessly draw trend lines on here all day long. I mean, or these major supports. But of course, no big deal. I mean, just said that you can't trade a standard lot on here. I mean, unless you're that guy. A little tough sledding on a standard lot. I wouldn't want to pull the trigger and be down $100 out of the gate. Would be a little daunting. But if you go down to the so on the here's the weekly, and just looking at, well, where you're coming into scalp wise, if you were to scalp it, which I guess you could swing scalp it, swing trade it, you know, it doesn't matter. Whatever, scalp is just a ridiculous term anyways, because scalp to me is just making money off of price fluctuation without regard to trend, and it's just I guess the matter of size you do it in. But so I'm thinking 15-minute chart, half-hour chart, 1 hour chart, 4 hour. 4 hour, you kind of got to zoom in there a little bit, right? I mean, you really got to... Oops, made that brutal mistake. Okay. So here's the 1 hour. And, yeah, it looks like a buy on the 1 hour. Of course, you know, your spread's just crushing. I mean, literally, the spread is the top becoming a bottom here. Just ridiculous. I know it looks very appetizing, but... you know, let's consider this is literally the spread on this broker. Maybe it's not best broker in the world. Maybe it's not ECN. Maybe it's not all that in a bag of chips. But take a look at that triangle there. Nice, pretty triangle. Look at this beautiful market structure here. You know, of course, this could be the breakout trend line that keeps collapsing more. That's definitely possible. That's why, for me, it's always about placing the buy orders down here and just stagger, you know, however you see fit, and then just get out here at this round handle, and then let's do a zoom out. Here we go. Starts to look a little more like a real market. Got real structure in here. Got stuff you can hang your hat on. There's a break of that. Of course, this isn't going to go down forever, I suppose, and not going to go up forever. Like, I'm thinking it's kind of a no-brainer that if it does rally, it'll probably come up and stall out in there. And that's about the spread right there. So the spread is kind of creating this top bottom in a way, because that's what people have to pay to get out and roll over of their positions. So you get a really nice dramatic. I notice with all these widespread markets, you get a seriously dramatic top bottom effect because of the fact that you are in such a brutal spread that you're going to get more profile, more depth to the drama of it all. You go the 4 hour, and you can see the drama here. Top bottom theory, just on close only. Like here, as it's going down this just collapseville up here like this. Yeah, look for the underneath trend line that breaks. When this trend line breaks, then look out, because I'm gonna tell you, I used to try to buy into these trend lines since being a contrarian trader. This is probably the most insane collapse here. Leno, would you buy that? You trade that bounce, cash out, buy there, trade that bounce. You know, you're making money on the way down, scalping these pips, and then when you buy here because you think, oh boy, look, it actually went beyond that trend line, came back and found resistance there. Whoa, that's a 4 hour chart though. That is wicked. But now what's happening is you're getting kind of, to me, is getting to be super right, because the velocity of this is just unsustainable. It's parabolic as can be, I suppose. From anybody's standpoint, RSI's got to be just squished down to the mat. And then you got this where it's just like, are you serious? But you saw that before, and then it takes a breath, and then it keeps tanking. But not that you can't make money in this thing, but you know, the spread's kind of punishing. So you go to daily, see where you're at, come back into this. You got there's a bottom becomes a top, a bottom becomes a top as you're going to no man's land, and then here's the other breakout there, and it's just falling down a rabbit hole. I could see this trade coming. I talked to somebody about this trade, 2 months ago. I don't know, back here, right here actually. That once we took out this, we just knew it was going to be like, oh my god, right? Like all this support work being taken out, all this stuff, like just put all these in, just put it all in there. Find every bottom, just find every supposed last gasp of this thing having any support. Okay, but now it's getting to be a really nice buy. Or just, like I say, a scalp if you don't mind this punishing spread. I was kind of looking at a blog post there, and somebody was mentioning the 20 period EMA, and that it wasn't worth anything on this trade, and well, that wouldn't be the first place. It's not worth anything for me, for my taste, but I'd rather just sit here and look for the what it's doing right now, which is just insane. But definitely looking at, like, wow, I want to buy there, but spread don't look so bad here. If I can get rid of the spread, I guess, on this chart, wouldn't feel bad. But I hate the spread. I hate the instant loss. This scalping the euro, with a tight spread, with a hot bunch of money, it's a little bit easier, I think, for scalpers. But it's got some interesting, like I said, it's very dramatic market structure when you consider the spread here. It gives you the most dramatic, in your face, kind of undeniable, the terrain is just ridiculous. But yeah, I can see, right, for the moment we're still going down, but like I said, doesn't mean you can't buy low, sell high into this thing. There's a daily. See if I can stretch it down one more level. Can't seem to get platforms acting up as usual. You really have to go out in no man's land here. Anyways, yeah, whatever that price is there. Big round number down here. See, I just put my thing down there without even looking, and just magically landed on the round handle, just because it just has that look to it, like it's gonna go for another possible spike, and if it does, it's great, because then you get filled on that order you spend all that time placing, and I think that's what it comes down to. How much time are you gonna spend placing orders? Okay, that's all well and good, and as you're a genius, got the holy grail there in front of you, but how are you gonna execute on these? Well, I'd say for me, I'm into automated execution because I'm like super lazy, so I have like a whole order bank I could place in there. Problem is, if I launch my order bank that I wrote that's designed to scalp, it's going to actually lock the platform because the spread is so brutal that I'm never going to get execution. I'm never going to get filled. Actually, what it's going to do is crash the whole platform, because since the script will attempt to load and the spread won't make sense for that currency pair, and the broker will just say try again. So, and if you did have, if you had one script, it would kill. But if you had a combination script and you had a scalp in there, it's going to keep reloading that one. You're not going to want that to happen. So yeah, so that's my story. I'm sticking to it, and I don't know. It spreads too wide. Like the rent's too high. The spread's too wide. Looks cool though. It looks cool in the chart. Certainly looks like fun to trade.